Hey everybody, this is Ted Check, recovering reporter. Welcome to the latest installment of Fill in the Blank Has a PR Problem. And by PR I mean public relations. 25 years as a newspaper reporter, and now I've spent 3.5 years full-time in public relations. Prior to that I spent 7 years part-time in public relations. So that's just the bona fides right there. So this headline is from Breitbart.com. Georgetown women's team criticized for praising former player who allegedly attacked officer with a knife. I think we can take out the allegedly part because there's video evidence. Clear cut. Pardon the pun, cut, because she used the knife right here. There's clear video evidence that she, in fact, did attack an officer with a knife, and ultimately she paid the price, or paid the ultimate price of her life. But Georgetown women's basketball has a public relations problem because they praised, as the headline says, they praised this woman who used to be on the team, but yet said nothing about her untimely death, and said nothing at all about the fact that she attacked a cop. Didn't say anything about the police officer, hoping that he would recover just fine, etc., etc. So they're facing pushback after paying tribute to former team player Sydney Wilson, who was shot and killed while allegedly swinging a knife at a Fairfax County that's in Virginia. I used to live there, Fairfax County. That's why I know it's in Virginia. Fairfax County police officer. So Wilson died in a hospital September 16th of this year after being shot by the officer. And there's plenty of footage out there. You can find it very easily. I think what happened was that the police department was getting some heat from BLM, Black Lives Matter, and so they said, "Oh yeah, here you go. Take a look at this. Take a look at the body cam footage and tell us what you think then." And it showed clearly the woman here, Sydney, attacking the officer, slashing at him, connecting a few times to his face, his head, before he was forced to shoot her. He had no recourse. It was either shoot her or die. She kept advancing on him. She's 6'6", 300 pounds, I've heard. She kept advancing on the guy. He had no recourse. He had no choice but to shoot her. He actually hesitated. Many people said, nah, the guy should have shot her a lot earlier. But anyway, back to Georgetown WBB. I guess that's women's basketball. So Georgetown women's, this is a tweet from them, or a post on X. Georgetown women's basketball mourns the tragic loss of Sydney Wilson. C13, it's a center. I think she was a center, well, at that height. And then maybe that was her number, 13, and not when she graduated. Or I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly. Forever a Hoya. But anyway, there's nothing here about how she died or about the cop. And the readers had to add the context. She was fatally shot after attempting to stab a police officer in Fairfax County, Virginia. So that was on the 20th, so 4 days after she died. Now, we could give them the benefit of the doubt, the women's basketball team. Maybe, just maybe, they didn't know how she... Is it possible they didn't know how she died? Is it possible? I don't know. I don't know, all the goings-on there, and whether police communicated that immediately, or only communicated it to her family, and maybe the family didn't say anything. So it's possible they didn't know. Okay, but then, several days later, once a Hoya, always a Hoya, we love you, Sid. So this was an additional post. Why the second post? Which was October 6th. So a week or two weeks plus after the first one. Died on September 16th. Here it is, October 6th. Now, you've got to figure they probably knew at this point, the family. But still nothing. So, let's go to the comments. Let us see. And there's, I guess, is the team from whatever year. She tried to murder a police officer. And that's taken from the footage. Knife in her hand. It was a welfare check So the background is it was a welfare check on her. Somebody was concerned about her welfare. And so the police officer did what's called a welfare check. They show up and they knock on the door and say, hey, it's the police, just making sure you're okay. And she opens the door and whew, she just starts slashing. Is your whole family, because the Hoyas, said, oh, we're a family. Not the traditional family, but whatever. Is your whole family like this? We should warn people you interact with. If so, seems like you support this behavior. Yeah. Again, no mention. They've got a public relations problem. So here's the police officer. You can clearly see he's bleeding from the forehead after being slashed. Here she's got the knife, and it looks like there's blood on her hand. You are eulogizing a psycho who tried to kill a cop. Despite these pukes and despise these pukes and mock them. We have one less psycho on the streets. But the poor police officer, hopefully he's not suffering from PTSD over this. Hopefully he gets the counseling that he needs and he can recover and make a full recovery and get back. And I'm not just talking about, physically, but I'm talking about mentally, emotionally. He can make a full recovery. So I'm thinking about that guy. I'm not thinking about Sid. So does this mean you're all like Sid? Stabbing a cop in the head has consequences. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. It's sad, but this is insensitive to the minority policeman. You're right. He's Asian. This is an Asian police officer. So the media was probably upset because they couldn't say white cop kills black woman. And that may be the only reason why they didn't have a racially charged headline. Could they have said, they didn't want to say, you never hear them say, Asian cop kills black woman. You've never seen that. I can almost guarantee you have never seen that. Black cop kills Hispanic man. You've never seen it. It's only white cop kills black person. So the media was probably upset and probably didn't give this as much coverage as they would have had it been a white cop and a black person, which is ridiculous because race just shouldn't come into play at all. It has no business being in a story like this at all. So the minority policeman who she viciously attacked and almost killed. So what I would have done if I was counseling, if I was the person in charge of public relations for Georgetown, I don't think they should be able to mourn their teammates, but they have to be honest and they have to say, look, this is what happened, and then maybe make it like a mental illness thing, like say, look, if you're suffering from mental illness, you need to get help, and you need to reach out, and here are some numbers, here's an organization, here's an agency, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and couch it like that, and say that you're thinking about, you hope, you wish for a speedy recovery, a full and speedy, swift recovery for the police officer. You would have to, I would say, you would have to do it like that. If you're going to do it at all. Otherwise, don't say anything. Not a word. Publicly, at least. But if you're going to say something, you're going to have to give the complete story on things. Otherwise, you get the heat. And maybe you don't mind the heat, or, too bad if you do. Because, you kind of ask for it without providing the full context of things. So Georgetown has a public relations problem. We'll see where they go from here. I don't know. It doesn't appear that they have responded to any of these responses. So maybe they'll just say, "Oh, let's be quiet," and maybe it'll just go away. Anyway, it's a sad situation all the way around. But like I said, I wish only the best. Like I said, a full, swift, and complete recovery for the police officer. He was there doing his job. The guy was trained in de-escalation techniques. Didn't even get a chance to do any of them. He was met with a knife. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you later.